Yeah, I think it gives them a little bit of breathing space, to be honest. I said before, you know, the result's the most important thing. You know, of course you want a good performance in that, but I thought tonight was just a result, just to get the 3 points. And, you know, when you've got players, individuals like obviously the Kudos and Bowen, obviously who got the winner, you know, you've got a chance because, you know, they're good players and they can create something out of nothing.
One or two bits to clear up. First of all, corner which led to West Ham's first goal, and whether it actually should have been a corner or not. Let's have another look. We've got a few angles to show for you. Of course, the officials don't get the benefit of these angles, Jamie. It's a tough call, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's not a corner, but it's not. You couldn't really criticise the officials there. You know, it's just one of those ones that you just think a little bit unfortunate where Wolves find themselves right now. They've then got to defend the set piece better, but when you just think of little things just going against you, it just comes off Wan-Bissaka.
This is a narrative, I think, that's building for Wolves. They don't feel like anything is going for them right now. So then they've got to defend the set piece, which has not been their strength.
No, it hasn't. They've conceded 15 set pieces this season. I think 6 or 7 more than any other team in the Premier League. So they've got a huge problem here. But I just want to look at this from a setup. You know, set pieces are a huge talking point in the game now. And you've got a lot of sort of zonal players. If you just run it on slowly now for Wolves in that front area. So what you've got here is you've got 2 or 3 players in that area there, and actually Doherty there, he's a spare man as well. So what teams are now doing is, okay, and we've seen Arsenal do this yesterday, okay, Wolves have a lot of players in that front space, so we're going to go round the back and try and overload at the back post, and then that blocks there for a man at the back post. Souček has been an absolute revelation, and the goal goes in. There's just a mix-up here. You see the 3v3. So Bowen now is on his way. But just look at what's going on in here. Now, what happens here is that you've all got a man to mark. But sometimes when players are that close together, you have to go zonal. You have to take responsibility. So Aït-Nouri and Lemina here are arguing about which players to get close enough to. And what happens? So look, he goes with him, and then before you know it, that's your problem. So Lemina is looking at Souček. He's lost them there because there's been not a mix-up, but they're just getting blocked out. And Souček, I mean, this guy has been an absolute revelation since he's come to West Ham. David Moyes brings him in. He's scored 12 goals from corners since he joined the club. Only Gabriel has got more than him in the Premier League. And when you think about dangers from set pieces, you think of Gabriel, you think of Souček, and you probably think, for me, Tarkowski at Everton. Absolutely fantastic, that man.
Souček, the man for West Ham United tonight, and there was a celebration. The 9 fingers held aloft as well. 9 fingers into teammate Mikel, and he actually goes and...
It was for him because I dedicated to him. I said to myself even before the game that I really want to score even more today because he was here since I came, and he's really my favorite. So I came and I said it will be really tough for me to play for quite long without him. So I'm happy that he's feeling fine. He supports us, but obviously this is for him. He's massive player, and he's really in my heart.
Thomas, that's a lovely sentiment, I'm sure shared by the rest of the dressing room. Just how much of a shock was it when you heard the news at the weekend?
It was really tough. I was just with the kids, and I saw this information on my phone, so I just messaged everyone what I could, what happened, and if he's like, or how he is, and I wish him like obviously all the best, but I was so scared what's gonna happen, and then we had more and more information, so it was a really tough week for us, for him and his family, massively more, so it's really tough, but we are happy that he came to the position he can be, and we also saw him before the game. We had a video call with him as a whole team before the game. I was so happy. He smiled to us and he gave us all the best. So I was so happy for him, and I can't wait to visit him.
Oh, that's brilliant. That's lovely to hear that he actually had a video call. So he was talking to you guys and you know, sharing messages with you.
Yeah, he is. He's a really lovely guy and also funny. So he did even a few jokes and he wishes us all the best. So he's with us because, as I said, he's a top goal scorer for West Ham. He's probably one of the best players what West Ham had. And now he's still with us. I can't wait we visit him as a whole team or individually, and he will be soon with us. So that was great that we saw him today, and I just wish him all the best because these things can happen, but hopefully it will be even better soon.
Ah, that's brilliant. Even so, this was difficult tonight. Did you feel that on the pitch against Wolves?
Yes, I felt it. Yes, I felt it because we all know that we were in the tough situation in the table. Both of us wanted to be much higher, so it was a tough game. And we said it, that it's also about the spirit, about the toughness today. And I think we showed more. Even our fans helped us until the end. And I believe that we deserve that win, and it will help us, and we can fly even more in the table.
Thomas, the whole Premier League right now is trying to figure out how to stop Arsenal scoring from corners. But how does the Premier League stop Thomas Souček scoring from corners? That's 12 goals you scored from corners now since you came to the club.
Yeah, I can't say the secret because I want to score even more goals, but I just want to be ready as I can, always in the move, because I think that if you move in the good way, the ball can find you, and that it is. And also we train set pieces, so I just want to be always in a good position. And I can say that I watch Arsenal how they cross set pieces, and they are best team in the world now. And I think that we all can learn from them because the back as well. So I was ready there.
Thomas, it's Jermain. Was you surprised with that much space you got at the back post? And what I want to know is, did you mean to score, or did you try and help it back on into the area? I think I know what you're going to say.
Obviously, it's the score. But no, I think I had in my mind was both, because I was a little bit surprised because all the game was I was very close with Lamina, but now someone did I think block for me, and I was very free. But it wasn't that easy position, so I wanted to hit the ball at the back, and even if it's a goal or if it's pass, I didn't know. So I just tried to head it to the great position, and at the end it was goal. But my focus was to put at the back of the goal, and if someone hit it and I do assist, I would take it as well.
Thomas, it's an important win. I'm sure you'll be aware of the speculation around your manager, Julen Lopetegui. Do you think the criticism that he's had is unfair?
It's always difficult because managers feel it, we as a players feel it. We spoke about it all together that we are under pressure. We spoke about it all together that we are under pressure. We want to be higher, but this pressure is always coming to the manager. But it's not always about him. It's at the end it's our players who is on the pitch. So I think he is a very good manager. He helped us in many things, and we need time to get a result, but I hate if someone say time for the progress, because they want as time as possible. I think that we need big example from today, get result by result and go higher, because as a West Ham we have to be higher and we deserve to be higher. But as a manager, I really like to work under him. He's a good progressive manager, and I believe that we as a players take responsibility for the results and show individuality and quality.
And finally, Thomas, I don't know if you're aware, there's a song, famous song called "I Don't Like Mondays." But I think West Ham United quite like Mondays, because he was so good against Newcastle. You've won tonight. And as we
Mondays, because I like to play at the night, because you have time, you can sleep afternoon after lunch, so you have more rest, and it's perfect to play in the night. So I really love it. We played Europe League or Conference League at the night, and it was perfect always for us, for fans. So I look forward for next Monday again.
Good man. We look forward to seeing you as well next Monday, and do please send our best wishes as well to Mikel when you go and visit him.
Yeah, thank you for him.
Thank you, Thomas. Great, great interview. He spoke so well, didn't he? And isn't that nice to hear, though, that happy news, that really positive news that they had a video call with Mikel Antonio before the game today?
Yeah, I mean, it's reassuring for everyone. Not just, West Ham fans, but for the football world. Because I have to be honest, when I saw the pictures, your heart drops, you worry, and you just want him to get home safe to his family. He's an amazing footballer. He's one of the leaders and the characters in the change rooms. But the way he spoke about him there, and saying change rooms, but the way he spoke about him there, and saying that he can't wait to go and visit him, and the fact that he's smiling is really pleasing.
And telling jokes.
Yeah, and it's just nice to hear. As I said, you forget about football, your rivals, the tribalism. The football family comes together when we saw that, those shocking scenes at the Carragher situation. But I mean, listen to where he spoke about him there. He holds him, the highest esteem, doesn't he? Really. And when you listen to him speak, and you think of when he came in a few years ago under David Moyes and Soufal as well at right back, and the job they did, and we have an image sometimes of Premier League footballers, but how humble did he come across there? Was such a nice guy, really respectful of one of the leaders in the dressing room, and what a job he's done. For West Ham, he's a different manager now, but he's been an absolute revelation. What a signing he's been. Big
character himself, certainly, in that West Ham dressing room. Put them in front in this game here this evening. But Wolves managed to find a way back. Let's have a look at this, which we thought was, well, it might be a key goal in the game. Didn't turn out that way.
No, but I mean, this is actually the pass of the game from the goalkeeper, Sam Johnson. But I mean, you loved it. Well, we'll give him that. We're going to give him something.
Yeah, but I mean, you can't take enough away from the finish. He's docketed it there. It just arrives on the penalty spot, and it's actually a hard finish. And he takes it with his weaker foot, and that it's a
great run, isn't it? In there, normally we see them playing really wide.
It's a hard finish, but what's key to it?
I think I spoke in the first half. I said about making sure your body's over the ball. Obviously he falls over where I finished it, but the fact that his body's over the ball, so because it's still on the half volley, but you keep it down then, and then you have to obviously concentrate on the contact. But you watch it, it just makes perfect contact and that, and the goalkeeper's got no chance.
There he goes, an unlikely goal scorer perhaps for Wolves tonight. All the talk about Cunha and Larson in the build-up, but just 2 minutes, 17 seconds later, and this is Gary O'Neill's worst nightmare. They've got themselves back into the game, given themselves a real fighting chance, and then another set piece.
Yeah, another set piece. They've got a huge problem with them. I mean, to concede 15, at this stage of the season, it's never happened in the Premier League before that someone's conceded 15 set piece goals by this stage of the season. But we mentioned that they were a little bit unfortunate on the first set piece. I think they're more unfortunate on this one. This should be a foul. For me, Mavropanos, makes a foul, and the referee's in a really good position to give it. I mean, the ball comes in. Now, it's because, for me, Mavropanos is jumping for the ball there, and he fouls the defender on the floor. Now, he doesn't react too much to the defender on the floor there. There's Bueno. And then, Jermain, you've spoken about this guy all night.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen him do it, for the last few years, where he's just so clever. And he's in these sort of situations, you just fancy him to do something and get a yard to get his shot off. And you feel, when he actually receives it, you think he's just going to try and come in on his left foot and just get the strike off. But read that chop there, and then he comes inside and just, I think it's a slight deflection, but anything that hits the side netting, then it's hard for the goalkeeper to save.
It feels like we've seen that goal so often from him. You feel like Mo Salah scores that goal or Bowen scores that goal. We see those goals more often. But
so
for me, that's
your complaint, Jamie, that it was it should have been blown on field. Because VAR felt they couldn't intervene because they felt it was a new phase of play.
Well, OK, if that's how VAR works, you have to accept that. But the referee's standing there looking, it's just a foul. Yeah. I mean, you just give it. Now, if the ball was nowhere near him and he wasn't really challenging for the ball or something, or the ball goes back post, you leave it. But he's jumping for the ball, he's trying to get the ball, and he just jumps on the back of the defender. I mean, how is that not a foul?
It's a free kick.
It's a... Listen, if you Gary O'Neill and your Wolves supporters at home watching that now, you're furious with that. I mean, it's right in front of the referee. I mean, I can't believe he hasn't given that.
Another one that...
Fortunate for Wolves and fortunate for West Ham, but that's the first contact, and then what comes after is just almost a coming together.
Jermain, what do you think in the box, Jermain, after that first contact? Do you think there is enough?
I don't think there's enough. I think you have to look at the first contact, obviously, which was right on the edge. But after that, I don't think there's enough, to be honest. But
what do you think about this?
To be honest, if it was given, I wouldn't have been surprised.
This was left with the referee's call on the field.
Yeah, you see, sort of like stamps on his foot.
You've gone down in the past, haven't you? Has he gone down badly there? Has he not gone down quick enough?
It takes an extra few steps, doesn't he? You can see there, obviously, he just steps on. He takes about 3 steps, then he goes down.
I mean,
it's delayed, isn't it?
As a defender there, there's a panic. As soon as you've put your foot on his...
I think if he goes down straight away...
I mean, he's going for the ball.
I think if he goes straight away, it's more likely to...
More likely. I think so.
All right, well, let's hear what Gary Neal has got to say about this. He is with David Craig right now.
Gary, clearly you'll be disappointed in the result tonight, but in terms of getting closer to the performances we spoke about before against Brighton and Fulham, did you sense there was a movement in the right direction tonight?
Yeah, we gave ourselves a chance in the game, didn't we? I thought we gave ourselves an opportunity to take something from the game. You can see the lads are still 100% committed and are willing to fight and give everything. We probably edged the game, probably on chances, created some good moments. And then we let ourselves down, losing our marker from a corner. Of course we do, which apparently wasn't a corner. I think it came off Wan-Bissaka last. So we didn't find a way to turn it in our favour today. But some of the decisions went against us as well in a big game, in big moments. Some decisions that I thought were fairly straightforward ended up going against us.
We'll come to those decisions in a second, but returning to the first goal, set pieces have proved problematic. From your perspective, what's wrong? What's causing that problem?
We lose our man around the back post. We've worked on Souček being a big threat, and we lose him at the back post. So. Big discussion needing to be had, obviously, which we've had a lot of them already. But this week we need to get back in, and we need to go through them all again. We need to go through them all again and try and find a way to make this group more competitive from set pieces and balls in the box, and because it's not a group that's built to cope with physical play. You know, Santi Bueno, good centre back, but not a big physical strong one. We lost Yerson, we lost Max, so that being competitive in those areas is a challenge for us. We've tried to move structures around to try and help us, give us some protection, but as I've just said to the lads in there, for all the hard work, if you're going to lose Souček from a corner and give West Ham a lift when the crowd had basically gone, they didn't look like scoring, I felt it was a real good moment for us to go and stamp our authority on the game, and then you give West Ham a big leg up with an easy goal for them to score, and then we have another mountain to climb.
Matt Doherty's just been in here and said the players need to have some very honest conversations amongst themselves. You've been a player yourself, you've been in that situation. Is what is needed amongst the group?
There's a lot of things that need. They're a great group. They're an incredible group around their mentality, what they give me. They're 100% still with us. They understand the situation at the football club as well, and they understand that it's difficult. But they're willing to stand up and fight. And of course, there'll be moments where we lack some quality and we don't show quite enough. But I ask them to give everything, and they give everything in every single moment. And they did the same again today. I'm disappointed for them really, because it was a decent away performance under a lot of pressure, under a lot of scrutiny, to come here and give what they managed to give. Deserve some points. You know, I watched Leicester beat West Ham a few days ago. Leicester were getting absolutely pummeled with shots. I think 30 shots, and this game was nothing like that. But somehow Leicester managed to win theirs, and we come out of here with nothing. So we're working very, very hard with a group. They're giving everything. We're giving everything, and we're going to keep pushing to try and get ourselves above the line.
Matt also said you deserved more appreciation for the hand that you were dealt with what you're having to deal with. We touched on before the pressures that all managers are facing at this moment. Are you getting the support, Gary? Not from the players, you've made that clear, but from the people above. Are you getting support for the situation that you're having to deal with?
The people above me are supportive. They are supportive. But of course, the supporters want their football club to be successful. And I understand them pointing the finger at me. I understand that it's my team and that I have to take responsibility for it. But when I arrived at this football club, they had just collected 39 points in the Premier League. Since that moment, we've managed to make 200 million in player sales. You know, we've sold an awful lot of Premier League players, an awful lot. If you go back to Neves and Moutinho and Podence and Traore and Jimenez and Costa and Nathan Collins, Pedro Neto, Max Kilman, and then we're not now shopping in that market. We're trying to find young ones that can help the club in the future and maybe give us a little bit now. But as we're finding, the Premier League is a ruthless league, and we're doing everything we can. The group are doing everything they can to get up to speed. But we are being tested. But I'm really proud of them. I'm really proud of them. I know we sit on 9 points and we're in a tough spot in the league, but I can only ask them to give what they give. And they're giving absolutely everything. So I hope the supporters are still proud of what they see from the players, because I know they'll want to win football matches and they'll hate the position we're in. They won't hate it any more than me. I'm right there with them, whether they know it or not at this moment. I'm right there with them. And we won't give up. We'll keep pushing. We'll keep pushing. And we get back to work. A big game against Ipswich is coming. And hopefully a few of the little bits, our bits from the officials go our way at the weekend.
I promised we'd come back to decisions and we'll give you your say without hopefully getting you a big
I
fine.
definitely won't get in trouble.
Particularly on the second goal, there was a sense from you that there was a foul. The information we had from the match centre was it was a new phase of play, so they wouldn't have considered it a foul. What's your perspective?
That's crazy. It's crazy that, because Santi Bueno is going to head the ball away. So the next phase of play is irrelevant because we'd have cleared the ball. So it's a blatant foul on Santi Bueno, and there's no way it's a different phase. The ball's not even left. The ball's still in the same area. So they'll find reasons, of course they will, and I understand that there can be grey areas and the wording of the rule can be interpreted in many different ways. But that's a blatant foul on Santi Bueno in the build-up to a goal. I mean, I don't know how many seconds it was before the goal, but not many. That's a blatant foul.
Let's finish on a positive. The manager appreciates the players behind the manager. With that combination, can you get out of the situation you find yourself in?
Yeah, we can get out of it. We can get out of it. We have to find a way to not give away the goals that we're giving away. Of course, we've said it before the game. We have to say it again now. We have to find a way. Hopefully January will help us as well. Transfer window coming up, where hopefully we can give the senior players some support. You know, they're giving everything at the moment, the senior boys. But hopefully we can give them some support. But they are going to give, I know full well, like as they did today, that when we kick off against Ipswich, they're going to be ready to fight and scrap for everything they can. And desperate for them that it starts to turn in their favour, because they deserve they deserve a bit more than what they're getting at the moment.
Just a little point at the end. We saw Mario Lemina get a little bit involved with both the West Ham players and also your own assistant manager, Sean Derry. Is that a sign of the frustration or perhaps over-caring?
Yeah, no, they're all good now. Of course, Mario was upset with something that happened with one of the West Ham players, and he's a passionate boy, Mario, and a lot of people were trying to calm him down for his own good. And Sean was just trying to do the same. You know, we're all trying to get to the next game without losing Mario Lemina. Is our fault at that moment. And I understand his frustrations and his passion, because he's desperate to help. He is. And he's one of those senior pros that I talk about that are going to be really important to us, and are pushing to try and help the younger ones, and are pushing to try and keep their own level up. So, yeah, we come out of here knowing that the players are still ready to fight and give everything, as I already knew, and knowing that we need to do a little bit better and we need a few more things to go our way to get a win.
Gary, as always, we thank you for your honesty and insight.
Thanks very much. Thanks, mate. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely couldn't fault him for that. A very calm, composed Gary O'Neill in conversation there with David Craig, reiterating the fighting spirit that he feels there in the group, and some key messaging around the player sales, which we talked about actually before the game today. £200 million worth of talent, he says, has left since he took over as manager, and just how key it is if he can get to January to help this squad of players. I suppose, Jamie, that the key decision, the consideration that Matt Hobbs and the Fuson Group above Hobbs have got to make is, can a different manager, could a different coach get more out of this group of players than Gary O'Neill is doing right now?
Well, I think it was a group of players that we felt would be in and around these positions right now. I think the worry for Wolves, as I said before the game, is not so much being in the bottom three, is the fact that there looks like there's a 3 or 4 point gap between maybe themselves and Leicester. And you look at the 3 promoted teams who've come up, and then the 3 promoted teams really struggled last season. And you think it might be tough for Southampton this season, maybe even Ipswich. But Leicester have made that change at Ruud van Nistelrooy. They've got 4 points of the last 2 games. That will certainly be in the back of the Wolves' hierarchy's mind. There's no doubt about that. But I don't see a manager change that is going to sort of rejuvenate this whole squad, and almost Gary O'Neill's holding this squad back and they should be achieving a lot more. I don't really see that. There are definitely areas where Gary O'Neill will look at and think, we need to be better than that. conceding 15 goals from set pieces. You know, I think 6 or 7 more than anybody else in the Premier League. That is a real sort of thing that they have to fix. And maybe if a new manager came in, they would fix. But no, I think what Gary O'Neill did last season and what he's doing now, and if you look at that as a body of work over the last 18 months, I think he's done a good job for Wolves, because where they are right now, I think most people feared that's where they would be last season. But as I've always said, whether you come up with a promoted team, whether you're an established Premier League team, if you find yourself in the bottom 3 in the Premier League, they are coveted jobs by coaches all around the world in Europe, and you're going to come under pressure. But no, I don't think it's a manager holding a group back who should be doing a lot more than what they're doing.
What about the players? What's their verdict? We heard Matt Doherty referenced a few times there. Here he is, that conversation with David Craig.
Does the manager deserve a bit more appreciation given the hand that he was dealt at the start of the season? You lost key players, you couldn't replace them. Is some of the criticism unwarranted and perhaps unfair?
Yeah, look, like I've said before, like he's a great coach. We get unbelievable coaching on the training pitch all week, and for whatever reason, it's just not resulting in results. Yeah, but like, I think you could ask any of the players, they wouldn't have a negative word to say about him. So we're disappointed for ourselves, we're disappointed for fans, obviously, but obviously we're disappointed with him. We know the kind of pressure he's under from wherever, all the outside noise. So like we're disappointed for him that we're not able to get him the results.
Very finally, Matt, next game is crucial always after a result like this, but it's against Ipswich. Yeah. Are the stakes cranked up again, given the situation you find yourselves in, and of course, obviously them?
Yeah, look, it's gonna feel like that anyway. I mean, this is the Premier League. You're not due a single point in this league, so you don't want to be getting cut adrift. I mean, I think history tells you that if you're in a certain position by a certain time, that the likelihood is you don't really stay up. So look, we're going into Saturday now, and how big a game it is.
Matt, really appreciate your honesty and time.
Thank you.
Matt Doherty's verdict. Gary O'Neill is an unbelievable coach on the training pitch. It's just not transmitting in terms of results. Ultimately, do the players hold his future and Wolves' destiny in their hands?
Yeah, players always got to take responsibility. I just don't think you can beat yourself in this league. And what I mean by that is, you know, when you continue to make the same mistakes, you know, conceding goals from set pieces, you know, players, you have to take responsibility. You have to compete, because we can speak about, you know, systems and, you know, chances and all that sort of stuff. But if you're not going to compete from set pieces, then you've got no chance. It's quite interesting, obviously, the manager speaking about, you know, the players, you know, that have left the football club. You know, these are top players' money that they've generated. And you think of, you know, another manager coming in with these group of players, is it going to change?
But does that send a message as well to the players who are left in that dressing room? Could they interpret that as, well, the manager doesn't think we're good enough?
No, I think players know, to be honest. I think players look at it, and I think players know. In change rooms, players talk. You know, I can imagine the players would silently be like, you know, if we had him, or, you know, he could have made a difference. But it's football. I've been in clubs before where players have gone and I thought, you know, we could have done with him today. I think that's only normal. I think you have to. Yeah, I know all players have got egos, but I think you have to be realistic, and you do look at that list and think, you know, if they had even 3 players on that list, you know, they probably could have been further up on the table. But
I think when we're talking about the lack of quality, I think it's across the whole squad. I think when you sort of maybe look at midfield and strikers, it's a decent group. I think it's defenders. They're really, really short in that in numbers and real quality.